One thing that we just never seem to get enough of as expediters out here on the road. That and more coming up right after this.
Hey everybody, I'm Judy.
And I'm Jim, and welcome to It's a Highway Vlog, where you can travel the country with us and you don't even have to get out of bed.
So while you're just laying around,
Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. Hey, good morning. One of the things we thought we would talk about is something that affects all of us, and that is, especially as team truck drivers, is trying to get enough sleep. Because most of the times during the week, we're actually rolling down the highway, and one of us is trying to sleep in the back of the truck, back here in the sleeper, where this lets down. This is our bed. It lets down into a nice little full-size bed. Something that we face as a team that a lot of the normal truck drivers don't is because we're trying to sleep with the truck moving, and sometimes that can be a real issue with folks. In fact, we know a couple of teams that have started recently, and a couple that have been driving for a long time, that continues to be an issue with them. Is one of them just can't seem to sleep with just rolling down the highway.
but the first thing that we noticed when we first started driving 8 years ago, it took me like 2 months to figure out how to sleep. And what eventually wound up happening with us is we completely switched our hours around. I thought I would be able to drive at a certain period of time, and Jim would be better driving at the other side of the time. And come to find out, just by accident, it needed to be completely flip-flopped.
Judy was always the early riser, and I was always the one that stayed up at night. And so when we first got in the truck, that's what we started to do. I would be sort of the night driver, and she would be the early morning driver, and it about killed us.
Yeah.
We just didn't sleep well at all, and for some reason or another, we decided, well, let's just switch that around, and we did, and we've kept the same schedule. I will typically start between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning and drive to 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then Judy will take over, and she'll drive from 1 or 2 in the afternoon until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And we keep that schedule while we're out here on the road.
And it works out great, so for us. And
But
other teams will do like maybe a 7 to 7, or it just depends. Some teams have major night owls and others don't. The other thing is trust. I
Right.
think that's the hardest thing when you first get started, is to it's not that you don't trust the person driving, it's that you don't trust what's going on because it's new.
Right.
And with anything, nobody sleeps when something's
It's a big
new.
change. You're driving and you're putting your life in hands of someone that you may or may not trust, and it's just all new to you. You're not used to sleeping in a moving vehicle.
Say just a few things that might help. Whatever you do at home, when you were home sleeping in a still bed, do that. I found out when I was at home, I couldn't sleep with the TV or the lights on or anything and get a really good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm in the truck, that's exactly what I do. Some people wear earplugs. Some people have the shades on. Some people have to have background noise, maybe a fan running, or something like that.
In most of these trucks, we've got curtains. We have blackout curtains. This is actually a window that you can't see on the side here, and there's curtains between the sleeping area and the actual cab of the truck, and it basically keeps all the light out. So it's much easier to sleep. The person that sleeps at night, it might have a little bit of an easier time than the person like me that is trying to sleep during the daytime. So we need to try to reduce the amount of light. One of the things that Judy and I found early on was essential oils. Lavender is very relaxing, and so we have a diffuser in the truck, and we'll put lavender in there when one of us is trying to sleep, and it just helps relax you, get you into a better frame of mind for trying to get a good night's sleep. But I guess the one takeaway from all of this is what works for one person is not going to work for everybody.
Yeah. The other part is nutrition.
Yes.
And exercising. I know it's hard to believe, it's hard to think about it, but those two things are really important. In like Jim, sometimes he'll grab something to eat before he goes to bed because that makes him sleepy. Me, if I eat before I go to bed, my energy goes up, And so I can't eat right before I go to bed.
Right.
Exercising is the same way. You know, some people get up and exercise right away, and then they'll sleep like a baby later on during the day. And then some people are like, well, I got to move before I go to sleep, and that helps them sleep better. But just in whatever chance you get, you know, take naps. I take naps. Jim does not. So, you know, we are two different people, and even at home, we slept differently. But moving down the road, I actually sleep better now when the truck is moving than I do when we're sitting still. Didn't start out that way.
Right.
But and when the reefer's going.
Basically, it's sort of experimentation. You got to find what works for you, and you know, sleep when you can. Best piece of advice we were given earlier on is sleep when you can. If you get an opportunity, take it. The country will still be there when you wake up.
Amen.
All right. We'll catch you in the next video.
So long.